Good evening and welcome to Tucker Carlson Tonight. Congress is still trying to come to an agreement on DACA. That's President Obama's program that gives work permits to illegal immigrants who arrived here as minors. The tone of the debate over this has changed quite a bit in the last few days, thanks wholly to President Trump's now famous comments suggesting that some countries are not as appealing as other countries and may, in fact, not produce equally desirable immigrants. Well, America's elites have recoiled in shock and horror and rage. How dare he say something like that? And so from Hollywood to Silicon Valley to MSNBC, a new consensus has formed, which, of course, the rest of us are now required to believe. So get a pen. It's this. Every other country is great, especially the poor and disorganized ones, and the immigrants those countries send here are uniformly more impressive than you are, every single one of them. They fight more wars, they pay more taxes, they start more companies than your kids ever will. So shut up with your doubts or inconvenient questions, otherwise we will fire you. So that's what our moral bettors on cable news are telling us vehemently. The question is, do they really believe that? Do they really think that all standards are arbitrary and racist and that everyone from everywhere is exactly the same level of awesome? Well, for an answer, ignore what they say. Take instead a close look at how they live. Do our elites send their own children to colleges with universal admittance policies where everybody gets in? Of course they don't. Their kids go to Harvard and Stanford and Yale. Those are the most respected universities in the world precisely because they're the most selective ones. Harvard's acceptance rate is just a hair above 5%. They brag about how many high school valedictorians they reject. Now, Harvard has countless professors who support open borders and fret about white privilege. Yet how many admissions officers do they have who will admit poorly educated Haitians who can't speak English? Let's see. None. Not a single one. Harvard is famous and admired because it's selective. In other words, because it discriminates on the basis of achievement and ability. If Harvard chose its students the way America chooses its immigrants, our elites wouldn't send their kids there. The cachet would be gone, along with the quality. The same, of course, goes for corporate America. Does Facebook hire by a diversity lottery? Come on. Would Google apply temporary protected status to its own workforce, hiring and keeping thousands of people with no relevant skills simply because they're from impoverished backgrounds? Another dumb question. The people who run Google and Facebook care about their companies in the same way the people who run Harvard care about their school. The one thing none of them care about is America, which is why they're demanding standards for our country they would never apply to themselves. It is sickening and hypocritical, and we've had enough of it. Going forward, we're going to push this country's elites to live by the standards they espouse. If America must give citizenship to 11 million undocumented immigrants, Harvard ought to give free tuition to 1,100 undocumented students. If it's okay to sneak into your city illegally and use the public services, why is it wrong to live in a dorm at Princeton without being enrolled? Jeff Bezos thinks it's immoral to send dreamers back to their own countries. Okay, why shouldn't Bezos give a few thousand of them high-paying corporate jobs at Amazon? Well, of course he should, immediately. The truth is, our ruling class supports our current immigration policy because for them, it's all upside. They're not standing in line in crowded emergency rooms or sending their kids to chaotic public schools or competing for jobs with people who will work for less than they will. For them, open borders mean cheaper labor and bountiful household help. And above all, the sense that unlike you, they're good people. They care. They're not bigots like those voters in Kentucky and Ohio. What our rulers need is a strong dose of reality, a sense of what their policies mean for everybody else. So let's give them that.